Hi, my name is Sylvie.
My name is Tamira.
This is Robin.
Andrea.
And I'm Sabrina. Together, we are the Trustworthy Leaders, and we will be discussing the topic of leadership credibility. Leadership credibility is the process of influencing employees towards the achievement of objectives. A leader is an official who will stand up, take control, solve problems, and make decisions, as well as initiate change. What makes an individual a great leader is when they establish credibility in their personal life and career. Credibility is determined by trust, respect, and believability. Leaders can be anywhere in an organization or employment. A manager does not necessarily mean that you are a leader because they might not know how to lead a company. A leader can be anybody who decides to stand up and listen and be someone who is listened to because they are respectful and reliable. A brief history of the topic. While the term leader was noted as early as the 1300s and conceptualized even before biblical times, the term leadership has been in existence only since the late 1700s. Even then, scientific research on the topic did not begin until the 20th century. Since that time, there has been intensive research on the subject. There are 9 leadership eras and counting, such as personality, influence, behavior, situational, contingency, transactional, anti-leadership, culture, and transformative. The reason the historical lines on leadership have occurred within a relatively short period of time, and many of them have arisen and subsided simultaneously. Thus, there is no recognition of the dates when the various eras occurred, only a recognition of their relative order in the development of leadership theory. Each new era represents a higher stage of development in the leadership thought process than the preceding eras. Leadership theory began as a one-dimensional, internal, and individualistic process in which a leadership's personality traits or behaviors were considered. Then, dyadic relationships evolved as the leader's interactions with others were considered.
The importance. So as we all know, when you are assuming the role as the leader or boss or CEO, you are assuming the position as the backbone and the foundation of an organization or a team. So what you're basically assuming or saying is that you are reliable, dependable, respectful, and trustworthy. And those are the 4 modes that we agreed as a group were the most important characteristics to have when leading. When you are the leader of a group, you are meant to serve as an example. So it is always understood universally through good leaders, at least, that there's more to it than just words. The actions are of utmost importance. You have to do things and carry yourself in a way that is dependable, reliable, respectful, and trustworthy. For example, if you expect your team to be on time, if you expect them to participate, if you expect them to approach you with respect, you have to lay that foundation first. That's basically what it means to be a leader. You being the example and almost like a blueprint for how you want your team to produce the outcome. You have to be a living embodiment of reliability, dependability, respectfulness, and trustworthiness. Steps we have here include first getting engaged with your team, developing a listening ear, treating team members like valued assets, meaning you treat everyone equally. You make sure that their involvement, their contribution is considered of value so that you can get the best results. 4, you emphasize your own personal accountability, meaning you are free of thinking you are without fault, definitely owning your mistakes and creating an environment that is welcoming and encouraging. And then 5, producing desired results. So as I said before, always making sure that you're a walking blueprint of what you want your outcome to be. There's a saying that the way you do small things is how you do all things. And I think that is something that should be near and dear to the heart of any leader.
There are many best practices for leadership credibility. According to Inc.com, some particularly effective practices include respecting the importance of employees' personal time, delegating effectively by trusting your staff to carry out those tasks well and empowering them to make important decisions, being able to balance your focus on both the big and small in order to make sound decisions, ignoring elusive rivalries by focusing on themselves, and learning your business from all levels like operations and how the actions of the organization affect everyone. Inc.com also recommends being respectful by not insulting or manipulating, being honest and fostering an environment where unethical behavior isn't tolerated, being educated and always striving to expand their knowledge, leading by example, and being competent. Further, credible leaders take full responsibility for their actions and accept their mistakes. They are loyal by remaining true to themselves and being supportive, and they are confident about their staff's abilities. According to CIO.com, putting individuals ahead of institutions is something that can make you a credible leader in times of crisis. They also suggest that being vulnerable by showing employees that you are going through the same things that they are going through is a good way to connect with staff. Strategy in Business says that you should create multiple paths for raising and testing ideas. Programs like reverse mentoring or cross-functional forums are good examples. Strategy in Business also recommends making it safe for your employees to fail and providing them with access across departments to give them the opportunity to work together. They also suggest creating experience-based learning opportunities for staff. You should bring your whole self to work and draw on all life lessons. Practice double loop learning by reflecting on the biases and assumptions you have and studying your thinking about a situation. The best practices of leadership credibility happen when an individual is trustworthy and respectful. Leaders are respectful, honest, educated, competent, accountable, loyal, and trusting. Credible leaders are responsible for their actions and admit their mistakes. They are loyal, supportive, and true to themselves and others. Also, credible leaders are confident about their staff's ability to reach their goals. The best practice of leadership credibility is school librarians. According to a scholarly article, Evidence-Based Practice, the practice toward leadership credibility among school librarians were not just to see themselves as partners and collaborators, but a model and example for other teachers in teaching and learning, particularly in the areas of reading technology and curriculum collaboration. School librarians are focusing less on the need to collect statistics on school library media program outcomes and more on student outcomes and how teaching information literacy is of benefit to student achievement. School librarians were encouraged to demonstrate leadership and collaboration with other teachers through building teams for learning, promoting and providing professional development, and by recruiting others into the profession. In information power, leadership is a part of the underlying vision of the school library program that affects all the roles of school librarians. Leadership for the library media specialist involves leading from the middle, as well as assuming more visible, proactive leadership roles. This type of leadership includes coaching others to do for themselves, acting as a sounding board for key decision makers, bringing people together, and taking the risk of leading when the opportunity arises.
A well-known, credible individual that has made an impact on leadership credibility is Tony Hayes. According to the article The Real Deal, Tony Hayes as an authentic leader with written on July 23rd, 1213. And Tony Hayes on his Secrets of Success published by Robert Rees. They say Tony Hayes has made customer satisfaction and company culture his missions, and he is passionate about both. He regularly states that money shouldn't be a number one goal, and that passion is what makes a business grow and succeed. According to the article Leadership, Tony and Practice, written in 2012 by Northhouse, they say authentic leaders understand their purpose, have strong values about the right thing to do, establish trusting relationships with others, demonstrate self-discipline, and act on their values, are passionate about their mission. The reason that Tony Harris is a great leader is that he cares and is passionate about his business and customers. He cares about his customers being satisfied with their wants and needs. If clients is not happy, then Harris makes sure that he fixes the problem until it's solved. A business should have a mission and purpose, not just make money. If a businessman's goal is to make money, then it will fail. An individual that is passionate about their career and profession, they will progress and be successful according to textbooks. Human relations and organizations, applications, and skill building. And in Chapter 6, Leading and Trust, written by Tony Ellis, he mentions Tony Ellis is a CEO and subscribes to a leadership style that is more centered than job-centered. After graduating from Harvard, Heiss worked for Oracle Corporation. Less than a year into his employment at Oracle, Heiss found himself very unhappy with the corporate environment and quit to found Link Exchange, and an advertising network that allowed members to advertise their sites using banner ads. Despite such phenomenal growth, Tony felt something had changed. The company ran into a problem when they started hiring people that did not know. So Heiss says that they were competent. People with the right skill set were hired. They were not a good culture fit. Looking to get out, he sold the company to Microsoft in 1998 for $265 million. Soon after selling Link Exchange, Nick Swinson approached Heiss with the idea of selling shoes online. Nick's company was called Zappos. After Tony joined Zappos and assumed the role of CEO, he bought a leadership style or approach that has helped the company achieve great success. Today, the company has revenues in excess of $1 billion annually. Another reason Tony Harris is a leader with credibility is that he did not give up when obstacles came his way. A true leader is strong and determined to reach their goals with positive mind and attitude. What makes leaders successful is that they face challenges without giving up. Not only Heiss cared about the job, but also people and the environment in his business. Since Heiss did not genuinely like the culture of his company and people, he did not hesitate to quit. Instead, he his own business and became CEO. Another individual that has made an impact on credible leadership is Elon Musk. Elon Musk has a great leadership skill in his companies because he knows how to solve problems and make decisions with confidence. According to the 4 things Elon Musk can teach about effective leadership, written March 21st, 2019 by Emily Marsh, she reports Elon Musk is a visionary and truly believes in every business venture he puts his mind to. Because he has such a strong vision, he isn't afraid to face obstacles others might find possible to overcome. This is one of the things Musk is known for, tackling obstacles head on. A good leader will always pick themselves up and their teams when things go wrong. They approach the problem from a different angle until finding something that works. And Musk has often demonstrated how he continually reviews and adapts his strategies. Trying to land a rocket on a drone ship in outer space, for example. SpaceX has spent years failing, and learning from their failures in the mission to send people to Mars 2024. One thing Musk does seem to get right in his dedication to continuous improvement. For instance, Musk realizes feedback as one way to become a better leader, even from early age. Musk was reading 2 books at an early age. Musk was reading 2 books a day, and his success can, in many ways, be attributed to his enthusiasm and appetite for learning. Musk has been known to quiz engineers for hours to soak up their knowledge. The reason Elon Musk is a great leader is that he stands for himself and his team when there are obstacles, learning and mistakes, becoming better and improving and educated. When Musk was facing hardship with the companies, he refused to give up and kept going. When a true and credible leader runs into a challenge, they power through it and not give up. Is a loss of failure. Musk thought of it as a leader experience instead of a negative perspective. When Musk failed the space rocket, he tried to alternative ways to results become successful. Musk was continuing to become a better and improve his business with his feedback being given. Feedback is a way to help Musk improve areas of his organization that needed to be fixed. Musk is an educated, credible leader in a way that gains knowledge, and his company's knowledge is powerful because people can come up with solutions and make decisions while facing challenges.
Has failed leadership credibility are BlackBerry and Comet. Electrical retail chain Comet Group failed because of lack of communication. According to the article, Why Did Comet Fail? Hint, it wasn't just the credit insurance, written on November 22nd, 2012 by Eddie Pacey. He voices electrical and IT retail are facing challenging times. But when services level drop and consumers stay away, or worse, get street savvy and avoid dogged selling of extended and expensive warranties, just one or two big blows can be severely damaging, more so when there is added pressure to reduce costs by reconstructing stores and laying off staff. Insurers and suppliers complained of not being provided with fresh financial information or business plans moving forward by Op Capita, the buyers. Landlords faced with requests to cut or defer lease payments were also denied this information. Successful business rescues are common, but only work where confidence, clarity, and quality of information sharing with required and relevant partners is evident. But none of these things were present with accusation of Comet. The reason that electrical retail chain Comet Group failed is that there wasn't a leader that solved problems and made decisions. What could have been done differently is having a leader that takes action by coming up with solutions and doing it. A leader could have stepped up by moving forward and making progress. Another company that has failed leadership credibility is BlackBerry because of lack of progress and trust. According to the article, BlackBerry's leadership failure, the symbol of software's triumph over hardware, published on January 22nd, 2012, and written by Matt Marshall. He announces the decline of research in Motion's BlackBerry smartphone, reflected in the resignations tonight of co-CEOs Jim Balsey and Mike Lazardis represents the admission of failure, finally, by leadership regime that had been in a place for a decade. RIM has been killed by the guys in the valley who offered superior software platforms, Apple and Google. But it's entirely another question whether RIM actually gets it. RIM became known for its dead simple, really useful wireless email service. In 1998, RIM launched its first pager, the size of a bar of soap, and no one else was doing this nearly as nicely. The, the device was too expensive for normal people, but BlackBerry won the hearts and minds of corporate executives. Over the next decade, it skewed up the enterprise market. It became known as the Crackberry. People couldn't put it down, but in 2007 and 2008, the groundwork was finally laid for software reassurance. Faster cell and data networks, at least in the US and in many European and Asian countries, became ambiguous. They became smarter too, offering things like location. Then Apple launched its SDK and the mobile app revolution was born. Third party developers used the network and the phone to offer their own services. Google's Android launched shortly thereafter. RIM was left like a frog in a pot of slowly boiling water, clinging to what it thought was a safe world of superior hardware. RIM's leadership was to blame. It should have seen this coming ago, long time ago. The context, of course, was ugly. RIM's company's stock price lost more than three-quarters of its value last year. It never could get its software platform together. Through 2011, it suffered a significant worldwide BlackBerry outrage. Due to due to inferior inherits, its BlackBerry Playbook tablet paled compared to Apple's iPad, Amazon's Kindle Fire, and various other Android tablets. RIM then delayed a well needed software update on the Playbook until February, and its revamped underlying operating system, the BlackBerry 10 OS, was delayed until later this year and was already being called a failure. It was between June 2008, which is when the first GPS enabled iPhone emerged, and June 2011, RIM's shareholders also lost almost $70 billion or 82% of the company's value, and its value has continued to decline. RIM is now worth a mere $8 billion compared to Apple's 400 billion. It's really about time that RIM's leaders stepped down. The reason that BlackBerry failed leadership credibility was that their officials did not stand up for their company to take control and solve problems. When there is when there was a problem, they did not come up with solutions and make a decision in order to make change and progress. Apple and Google were coming up and making new technology, which resulted in a lot of people buying it and earning more money. On the other hand, BlackBerry did not take action by discovering what their competition was doing and finding new ideas. This resulted in BlackBerry losing customers and money. According to the article, anonymous employees say working at BlackBerry is a Nightmare, written on July 1st, 2011 by Adam Clark Estes, says Thursday morning the tech blog Boy Genius Report posted an open letter from an unnamed senior RIM executive to the rest of the senior management team. I have lost confidence. Senior executives start communicating with each other via anonymous letters to tech blogs. To open letters include all kinds of frustrated phrases about lazy marketing for incomplete products, ruining the company. BlackBerry's senior executive lost their confidence and suspicion actions, which led to losing trust from employees. Trust is a hard thing to gain back from employees once it is lost. The senior executives could have put their mind that they can reach their goal and make progress. This could have led the company to be successful. In order for a leader to have trust from their employees and team, it needs to be built. According to the article, Trust in the Workplace: Six Steps to Building Trust with Employees, posted on May 6, 2019, by David Grossman, he answers how a leader builds trust is being approachable and friendly. People trust leaders they like, showing support for your team members even when they make mistakes, balancing the need for results with being considerate of others and their feelings. An approachable leader is important because that means employees are not afraid of them. People will enjoy and be motivated to work more. A true leader would not be mad, criticize, and blame their employees for making a mistake. Instead, they will help them by coming up with solutions and solving problems on how to improve. A credible leader will move on to improve their business and not look at their past mistakes. A top individual with an open mind and considering other people's ideas will have better results and progress in their business. If a leader had a closed mind with their idea and no one else's, their business will not evolve and be successful. Also, a great leader cares and is respectful towards their employees. A leader does not only think about themselves, but other people. When an employee has a family emergency, a manager would understand that what is happening and make sure that everything is okay. This is what it means to have leadership credibility.